What is good, everyone? The interview that you're about to watch now is with one of my licensing clients, Lorenzo, who is 15 years old. And in December, well, he's 16 now, but in December, he made $15,800 at 15 years old doing growth operating, running an info agency, licensing some of my systems. It's a really good chat. We kind of speak about the info space as a whole, how he's how he's been able to do what he's done even whilst going to school. And I think, yeah, it's going to be really, really useful for any setters, closers, even other growth operators out there who are running their own businesses. And if you want to license the same webinar systems, sales systems, basically kind of my agency systems for what I do and how I run my agency, and you want to consult with me as well, feel free to just send me a text on Instagram or book a call with the link below, and we can have a chat and see how I can help. But for everyone else, enjoy the interview. It's a really good one. How much did you make last month in December?
15K.
15K, over 15K
Yeah.
at 15 years old.
Yeah.
And that's pretty crazy, right? Most 15-year-olds are in school doing nothing. He's still in school, by the way.
Yeah.
So what do you do? How do you make your money?
I am a growth operator. I basically manage info for creators, especially high ticket info.
High ticket info, growth operating, that's where the money is, as
Yeah,
they say.
always been, always will.
Yeah, and so like breakdown for people, I mean, I know, he scaled an offer to 68, 70K
Yeah.
last month. I think the month before that was still good. Like you've been doing 10K a month consistently
Yeah.
for like a few months now.
Uh-huh.
Right, and like why, like tell me like, because I know, but like tell everyone like what businesses did you start beforehand? Why did you even get into growth operating?
So I got started into online business when I was like around 13, probably just turned 13 years old. I think a video of some dropshipping guru popped on my YouTube For You page. So from there, I don't know why, it just clicked something for me. It just showed me, I think it was a vlog. It just showed me what was possible.
Yeah, 13 is crazy young.
Yeah.
And
And
then-
it wasn't even like about the money or the supercars on the video. It was about the freedom, you know.
Yeah.
And from there, tried multiple things, you know, drop shipping, our Instagram team pages, so many different
Same
things.
here, bro. I used to do reselling, all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got brought into info, like kind of in the Eddie Cumberbatch
Yeah.
kind of wave, same as me.
When it got super popular,
Yeah, and it took you a while to land your first client, right?
yeah, I kind of did outreach. So the serious outreach, because obviously you have this cool $50 per month outreach, which I
Yeah.
wouldn't even consider. The first client came after probably 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah, was insane.
That wasn't the big client that you're working with now?
No, not at all. So closed the first client, launched $0 made, so complete failed launch.
Oh yeah, I remember.
That was
and
so
then
bad.
you landed a big client.
Yeah, couple months later, landed a big client, solid personal brand trading client, and yeah, from there we just ran it up, and learned so much.
Because I remember you reached out to me, Lorenzo found me on Twitter, I think.
Yeah.
And he reached out to me, I'd just done a webinar with a big client of mine, we did like 250K a month. Lorenzo messaged me like, hey, like I've just landed this client, I want to run a webinar, but like, yeah, tell, like from your side, like actually fulfilling for a client, if you'd never made any money for a client before, if you've done a failed launch, like if you're a growth operator kind of in that position where you actually have a good client but you don't know how to fulfill, like what was your thought process behind reaching out to me?
Okay, so once I closed that client, the goal was to run a normal cold funnel, VSL funnel. But then I was watching your videos and many other videos of people printing with webinars, and I already didn't know how to fulfill a VSL funnel. A webinar was even worse, right? So, you know, I actually been watching your content since you was doing appointment setting.
No way, really?
Yeah, and then, you know, when I saw the one tweet that you posted talking about those results, you're the only guy I reached out to just because I feel like watching your journey from zero to like running up a 200K webinar with a
Thank
client
you,
was
bro.
insane. So reached out to you asking for some help, and
The craziest part is, like, Lorenzo's 15 in school, like, he didn't have any money to pay me, so we
Yeah.
partnered up and kind of ran the webinar together.
yeah,
How much did we make? We did like 30K from the
yeah,
webinar.
30K probably.
And Lorenzo was on a 30% rev share for the webinar, so he pocketed 9K, and obviously we split that. But like, yeah, 9K, I think, or like 9K
yeah,
from the webinar.
somewhere around that, I don't even remember.
At 15 years old, it's crazy. And then now you're running the VSL funnel. We're gonna rip another webinar with the same
Exactly.
SOPs that we've got.
Even better SOPs.
Come on, bro, thank you. What was like the most useful thing you got from me, like across the board? I know like you could probably say a lot, but
Okay, So I mean, obviously, first of all, I reached out because I knew that you were experienced, especially with webinars. So I would say that all the SOPs that you had, especially on the marketing side of the webinar, like the sales stuff was extremely good, but obviously webinars are 70% marketing, probably
Exactly.
30-20% sales, because obviously it's a live event, so the sales call is happening on the webinar. So
Gives you a lot more control.
yeah,
as well.
the marketing stuff was just so goated, and it was the number one reason on why I was able to run up those numbers, which was not even crazy. But bro, first launch, I think it's pretty solid.
100%. And even since then, like, I know I didn't really help too much on, like, he had my SOPs, but you implemented a lot yourself in terms of, like, there was some sales stuff, but you've killed it since then. Like,
Appreciate that.
15 years old, it's insane. And then you signed another client off the back of that one case study. I think that shows kind of how growth up is, like, just such a snowball.
Yeah, I mean, I think that especially in the high ticket space, especially growth up, I think it's just straight trench work with no results. Then you get lucky because obviously it's important. Like if you don't quit doing outreach, obviously you cannot fail. So at some point you're 100% gonna land a client. You're gonna get results for him, and you're gonna start leveraging those, and it's gonna get so much easier.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Like you signing another client when you know what you're doing, because obviously you've executed, you've used my stuff.
Yeah.
I think, bro, the most amazing thing about you is like you weren't scared to go and sign a client, even when you didn't really know how to fulfill, but then you figured it out. Like,
Yeah.
I think, I mean, my advice, I think the best advice would be to like learn first, and then obviously know what you're doing to be able to sign a client quicker and learn how to fulfill.
Definitely.
But even for me, when I ran my first webinar to a client, when I signed my first growth up client from being a setter and a closer, it was like I had no idea what I was doing, but I just figured it out along the way, and I've just learned through so much experience. Even running ads, like it's just another thing that you have to learn through doing.
Yeah.
You can pick things up, you could have all the best SOPs in the world, but you will never really know until you actually do it.
Also from the failed launches, and obviously I was watching all the free content on YouTube, but I learned way more from the failed launches and from the mistakes that I made
Yeah.
than from like the successful ones. And don't get me wrong, like I did make a lot of money from those, but bro, I was so happy with it because I learned so much since obviously you learn from the mistakes, and that's why I wasn't even mad about failing.
Because we had a
Those
lot of fuck
launches.
ups on that webinar.
Yeah, bro.
Like we did 30K, but there was a few like when Webinar Jam just fully crashed. Like the website went down. That we can. It was so like we could have done way more. You're gonna do 100K on the next one for sure. But yeah, you're right. I think having one-on-one as well. What I really didn't have when I was doing growth up, transitioning from setter, because you were a setter as well.
Yeah.
You did a little bit of setting, but
Yeah.
why was that cooked? Because I think we have the same mindset towards setting. We were both setters for quite a long time.
I mean, bro, like the goal going into setting has always been like transitioning into something bigger. But I would never be here. Same thing for you, obviously. I think we would never be here without doing the trench work first, the setting.
But you want to get out of it as quick as you can, right? Because you were working like EST hours.
Yeah.
You had school in the morning. Bro.
Yeah, I worked for Alex G Lunch.
I didn't know.
Luke Alexander, being managed by Luke Alexander, and I was literally working 7 a.m. till 4 a.m. So, and I was sleeping literally 3 hours, waking up 7 a.m., going to school, coming back, working till 4 a.m., waking up 3 hours later, and I was like, just that stuff.
But even not in that position, for me as a setter and a closer, I think if you're a setter or a closer and watching this, you'll be like, it's like you can be very comfortable. I've spoken to closers who are like 25, 26 years old, they've been closers for 2 or 3 years. Like seeing a 15-year-old who, I mean, like speak about your day-to-day as a growth up, like, what did you do?
Bro, at some point, like, I think that after a certain point, especially in info, that's why it's the best model out there at the moment, in my opinion. Obviously, if every single creator in every single niche eventually switches to selling courses and having a coaching business, there's a reason. So at some point, it becomes a system game. It's not anymore about the inputs. About the inputs. So inputs don't equal outputs anymore. But it's just
your leverage, like how leveraged you are as a growth up. You spend an hour a day checking the team. You've got a manager in place. You have someone writing the content in place. Before this, me and Lorenzo were talking about outsourcing as a growth op, being able to make content. Because Lorenzo, your content is really good. It's helping you land clients. But like, you can just focus on what you want to do. Like you play
Right.
football, you know, you're not stressed out. You're getting, you know, you just have your sales team closing whilst you're in school. You can have multiple clients. Compared to closing, it's pretty messed up.
Yeah, nah, bro. I would never wanna be doing. I would never wanna be doing still closing to this day.
Yeah, man.
I would just hate it. Like at some point, like yeah, you can.
Trading your time for money. Still.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a better 9 to 5. Obviously, you make more, but at some point, if you just keep doing that every single day and you're just
You're not
tired,
growing.
yeah,
You're not, like I think
You're not
skills is a
growing.
huge thing.
exactly.
Because I mean, the skills you've learned, I think, well, webinars is one, VSL funnels, like sales team, sales scripts, like those things. But the more of those skills you can stack, because now we're going to be, you know, we're going to be running ads for the second webinar. The more of those skills you can stack and learn, like the more you can charge across your clients, which is
100%.
super useful. But yeah, I mean, what else? Like, what are the next goals? You know, 2026. He's 16, making 15K a month. I mean, no, this month you're going to make more. This month is going to be a record month for sure,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely.
I'm excited for it. But yeah, what are the goals?
Okay, so as I said earlier, I always knew that money wasn't gonna fulfill, like make me happy or anything. But for some reason, I thought that 10K per month was gonna make me happy. And after making it, like obviously, it's not much. It's not much money. Like, so obviously, I'm hungrier than ever. And the goal is not even monetary. At this point, it's just becoming the best at what I do at my space, fulfilling, having perfect fulfillment for all my clients, scaling them, and you know, eventually just branching into a bigger agency where I delegate way more of my work and I'm detached from my income.
Yeah,
And
I think that's
just-
something we can work on
Yeah.
together, because I think like there's also that problem of like growth ops with just one client where they kind of do everything. And I think even just the conversation we had today, there are a lot of insights of, okay, how can you delegate copywriting? How can you delegate the sales team? Like the two main tasks, like how can you delegate building a new funnel to the point where you can focus on acquisition, and to the point where you have everything SOP'd, and so you can make content to be able to sign more and more clients. I think
100%.
that's the only way you can keep scaling and,
Yeah.
and build a business.
Info is not like any other businesses, like probably trading, where the more time you spend trading, the more money you make. Is the complete opposite,
Yeah.
where you get to some point and it's gonna be impossible for you to scale if you're doing all the tasks yourself.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, what they don't realize is like they come from being a setter or a closer where the more time you put in, like if you work a 16-hour day, like you're going to make more money. And I think, I mean, I still work like 12, 14-hour days sometimes, but there are like over Christmas, there's like a week where I just basically didn't work and I still did like 30, 40K last
Same.
month. So
I think that it's like that's good, but it could also be a trap for you.
yeah,
Because where you get to the point where you could do little to no work, but you still make solid money, you completely lose the motivation, the how hungry you are. Yeah. So you gotta be really careful, because that happens to a lot of agencies. You know, they get to a certain point where they're making 20, 30K per month. The owner stops doing the work because they still make decent money.
or
Then
you outsource everything,
Yeah.
and like you can just live your life, you're still seeing money come into the bank, and then like, you know, clients start to slip, the client churns, and then like
Yeah.
you're kind of back to square one.
exactly.
So I think that you're gonna build a sick personal brand like at 16, like doing the sort of stuff. But I think it also goes to show with growth up, like, you know, you can be in school, you can still do it on the side from closing. Like you could be, you know, he's got like 8 hours a day that he can't work,
Yeah.
and he's still printing. So yeah,
You have no ideas how many times I had my phone taken because of WAP notice of payments coming in. I had
that's crazy.
a tweet go viral because, bro, it's
remember.
just insane.
That was from the webinar, no?
Yeah.
4.5K.
Yeah,
fifth?
4.5K, yeah.
Easy, I remember. But yeah, okay, let's go on to like a couple more things.
Yeah, for
What
sure.
is the biggest piece of advice for growth ops, or for people who want to go into growth operating or start an agency in info? What's the like number one thing that you've learned over the past few months? Because you only like started growth op in September, like it's only been four months.
Yeah. So, if you're trying to transition, probably you're in high ticket sales or you're a complete beginner. If you're a complete beginner that doesn't know anything about sales or anything, I recommend you first getting into setting or closing. It's not gonna be the best in the beginning, but in the long-term game, it's gonna just help you so much. And if you're someone who's already in sales trying to transition, what I wanna say is in the beginning, it's not gonna look perfect. You're gonna have a lot of failed launches like I did. Your expectations are gonna go down, but just keep putting your head down.
I think it's all about finding that right client.
Yeah.
Because you could have I know you've said this before, maybe just for the camera, how would you say having the right, because you could have done a launch with Bard and it could have also flopped.
Yeah.
So I think it's also having the right knowledge, and everything's out there really on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one thing is until you do it, until you have someone working you through it one-to-one, it can be very, very difficult. And that's something I found as well. All of my learning has just been one-to-one with someone, paying them for their time, and that's it.
100%. Having one-on-one help, it's crucial. And learning from someone that already did what you want to do, just like how I did with Luis. Luis, you did exactly something that I already wanted to do, which was running a successful webinar. I just reached out. I got one-on-one help from you directly, and the SOPs were so good. That stuff was so good. Your help and knowledge was amazing.
Thank you, bro. I don't want to talk on some other SOPs that we've spoken about, but there are a lot of, I think, people who sell licensing or people who sell growth op programs who maybe aren't on that who just maybe don't have the best fulfillment.
Yeah.
How would you say I differentiated maybe in just the stuff I had?
Okay, so I bought many licensing programs or whatever it is, one-on-one help that I had to buy, but your stuff was different in a way where you were so hands-on, and even when I was not checking in with you asking questions, you were still hey, how's it going, do you need any help? And another great thing that I loved was your ability of making looms fast. Hey man, I need help with this. You instantly had
custom
a
loom. But I think I was still building out my own SOPs. I think another huge thing, if you're a growth operator with one client, you need to SOP absolutely everything. Bring in the right team members. I think that's something I'm going to be helping Lorenzo with now, because it's at the point, there's always certain points. First is landing your first client. You need a good lead scraper. You need to understand making a little bit of content. You need to understand how to do good outreach. That's step one. If you can't get through that step, then you can't go on to step two. And it's all about scaling. And even for me, there are real big difficulties in my agency where I'm okay, I need to find someone who's gone through this and pay them to help me figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think it's just kind of a ladder that you have to go up.
100%.
Yeah.
It's all about a ladder. Mm-hmm. Where do you see info going in, over the next years?
Next years, I think info is not going to go away.
This year it changed a lot. This one, probably couple years, have been so important.
I think with AI, yeah, it's true. The two, 2024, 2025, before that, AI wasn't really being used in any copy, in any landing pages. I now have, the lovable landing pages that we're using. I'm going to make a full video on that, a full guide. But I think your ability to use AI and also find team members who can use AI to a high level is huge, absolutely huge. But in terms of info itself, I don't think it's ever going to go away, because information itself is going to be abundant, no doubt about it. But I can ask ChatGPT how to set up a good ad campaign, but to give it the right context and to have someone who's gone through those steps, as a growth operator, is really difficult. And it's the same if you're selling a B2C kind of biz op on, how to start trading. Yes, all the information is out there, but can you actually get that one-on-one implementation and support from someone who you know, like, and trust from content? I don't think that's ever going to go away. And especially with where social media is going, I can't speak on 10 years down the line where AI is just doing everything, but especially for the next at least 5 years, I think info is just going to keep growing. And even Iman Gadji now, he's shilling growth operating. Who else this? Everyone is kind of some variant of an agency that's actually focused towards info.
Yeah.
So the more skills you can stack, if you can run ads for clients, if you can run webinars for clients, if you can build your own personal brand and then do some consulting on the side with other creators, I think that's something you can start doing. When you build your brand, consulting for creators, selling your own systems and SOPs. But that's where I see. What about you?
Okay, so as you said, obviously AI got to a point where you cannot just either ignore it or cry about the fact that now it's the main base of all copy of everything. Mm-hmm. So only thing you can do is just learn how to take advantage of it.
We didn't even speak about that. The AI copywriting stuff. That's crazy. Yeah.
Just take advantage of it and learn how to use it properly, better than everyone else. Because I don't think people realize this, especially if you're in the online money space where AI is a big thing. bro, it's not even the beginning of AI, in my opinion. I don't think it's to a point where everyone knows how to use it. So just get now early in this, get better than everyone, and it's gonna pay off.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaways for me with AI, and I think it's the reason why like I can be so efficient, is copy. Like it's very easy, like good and bad AI copy is very easy to separate as well. Like you can tell when a landing page is just like AI slop. But using AI for like very good copy and then for landing pages with lovable, I think you can like have leaps and bounds from other operators and really differentiate yourself in the market. But yeah, 15K a month. I think he's going to hit 50K by the end of the year. Maybe drop out at 50K a month.
That's the goal. Let's go.
Going to try and drop out of school. It's been a pleasure, bro.
Thank you so much, man.